Let's talk about that moment when your mammogram results come back and they say they just want to take another look. It's called a biopsy. And if you've ever faced one, you know it brings a mix of fear, questions, and a deep need to stay calm while your mind races. In this very quick, honest reflection, I just want to share what the process is really like from a woman in her 40s, what questions to ask, how to emotionally prepare, and how to keep your sense of humor and peace while waiting for the answers. I just want to say this is not medical advice. It's just a little perspective and encouragement for anyone walking through this same horrific situation. Back in July, I went and I got my mammogram. I think it was early July. And I didn't hear anything from them for a while. And I just kind of put it in the back of my mind. I thought, like all the rest of them, it's going to be just fine. So they call me back. They say, hey, we want to take another image. Can you come in? I went on up there. I didn't even give it a second thought. I didn't tell anybody in my family. I didn't even worry about it. I just went on up there and got the image. I take care of myself. I figured this must be just a fluke. Go get the image. They call me back. Hey, we need to do a biopsy. That's when things got real. For probably a good 10 minutes, I was scared out of my mind. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was petrified. And then just as quickly as that 5 minutes passed, I put it in the back of my mind. I shifted my energy. I shifted my focus. I said, no, this cannot be. I take care of myself. I'm a member of an integrative medicine clinic that I go to. They check my blood work regularly. I am on a high protein diet. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I just was going down the list of things, And this may not be the same thing for everybody, but for most people, whether or not you have high risk in your family, whether you have not been doing what you need to when it comes to diet and exercise and sleep. I don't do really good about sleep. I do pretty good about diet and exercise, really good about diet and exercise, but not that great about sleep. And stress can be, it can be a thing as well. But I just didn't think it was possible. So I knew I had to get through it, but I was not going to allow it to stress me out. But on top of that, I was going on a trip to Japan that I already had booked when all of this came about. So as you might imagine, I had to prepare myself for my trip while also not allowing that news to drive me crazy. It was not easy, but I think I made it through okay. Now, I will tell you this, going to Japan was probably the best thing ever for me at that moment, because if you've ever been to Japan, it is the most peaceful, most serene, most nature-friendly, most fitness-friendly, most diet-friendly place you could ever go. It was just amazing. On top of that, all the temples and shrines, it was just amazing. And so for anybody who's preparing to go through a biopsy or just had a biopsy and you're now waiting through the process, I just want to say this. You need to not allow it to drag you down. Because here's the thing, even if it is something, you'll get through it. You will get through it. You have to shift your energy and your focus to positivity. You can't even let a kernel of doubt slip in there. If you don't want to talk to anybody about it around you because they're going to plant seeds of negativity or doubt in your mind, don't tell them. Keep it to yourself. Those trusted people that you can go and talk to about this. Those people who are going to give you encouragement and upliftment and not try to drag you down as you're dealing with this bullshit. You don't need it. So shift your focus. Don't worry about it. Prepare yourself for it, but do not let it drag you down. It's not worth it, And if you do that, I promise you'll go into it much better, much clearer head, much more calm in your spirit. I'm not going to suggest that it's just going to go away. On my trip in Japan, I promise you, every temple, every shrine we went into, I was praying to Buddha, whoever they had up in there, I was praying. I was praying. They had these little amulets you could buy, these little bags you could buy. They had little, I don't even know what's in them. I bought 2 or 3 of them. I promise you. I was not taking any chances. I was in constant prayer, constant supplication. I do not have time for this. I got a lot going on in my life. I don't have time for breast cancer. I don't think so. And so I commanded breast cancer. It could not take root in my body. There was no way. Now, when I went to the biopsy, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know, but I had to go in there believing that it was going to be fine. And guess what? When I walked out of my biopsy appointment, my right hand to God, I got into my car. I'll never forget it. I connected my phone to my car, and the first song that shuffled in was Mary J. Blige's Just Fine. When that tone came on at the beginning, and I want you all to play it after this is over, that little sort of like super kind of revved up tone came out, because you know the song. Everybody who knows the song knows the song. At the very beginning, it does this little dun 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 dun. When that came on, I knew that's what it was. I was like, oh shit. Like, this could not be a better message from the universe. You're gonna be just fine. When you tune in that way, the universe clears your path. When I heard that song come on, I settled in, I let my spirit be at peace, that it was going to be fine. And that's what I resolved myself to. I left from there. I'll never forget. I went to this seafood restaurant I like to go to. They have this smoked salmon that's amazing. I went there, I had the smoked salmon with mashed cauliflower and broccolini, and I even got the bread pudding for dessert. I was like, screw this, I'm getting dessert. I ate my meal and I went home. They called me up. I think they told me it might be up to 10 days. And I kept thinking to myself, in 2025, it's going to take 10 days to give me these results. What is this? But thankfully, it didn't take 10 days. And when they called me, I was busy with work all day. I was just really, really busy, just running around. And I kept missing the biopsy coordinator, I think they call the woman. And she and I had developed a bit of a rapport in the course of the 2 or 3 weeks or so leading up to it, because they knew I was pissed, because when I went, they first told me, you need to biopsy. And I told them, I said, listen, I just had blood work done and everything. I had no cancer markers were ringing off in the blood work. Like, how could this be, And they kept telling me, you just need to do it just to be on the safe side. And to be honest, I'm glad I did, because I would have been even more stressed probably had I not done it and just decided to wait and see what happened in my body. I don't operate like that. Like, I'm very vigilant about keeping track of what's happening in my body. So I'm glad I did it, but I'm not even gonna lie if I say to you that so many women in their 40s have this whole emergency. Is this really a real thing, or are they really just, using this as a way to make money? It cost me $1,000 out of pocket to get this done. But like I said, I'm glad I did it. I have peace of mind that I did it. But it felt really nefarious to me. I'm not even gonna lie, it did. But you can't allow yourself to sink into that. You gotta just focus on the task at hand, and that's getting the clear information that everything's fine, so that you can go on with the rest of your life. That's really all you need to be focusing on. Don't allow yourself to get, oh my God, what if I have it? Don't even go there. Put it in the back of your mind. Don't allow yourself to sink into that dark place. Because I'm telling you now, it could be 2 or 3 weeks of hell, or it could be keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself occupied so you can get through it. That's the best thing I can tell you. Now, before the biopsy, this is a few questions that you do want to ask your biopsy coordinator or whoever, whatever they call them at your healthcare provider. These are just a few questions that you may want to ask them. I think they were very helpful to me, and I think it will also give you some peace of mind as well. A few of those are, what caused this? What did the mammogram show that needs a closer look? You have the right to ask them that. Ask them, why are you guys doing this? The next question is, what type of biopsy am I having? Needle, core, stereotactic, ultrasound guided. There's a few different types, and you definitely want to know that, do some research, because you have the right to choose and select that as well. Don't just let them tell you what you're going to have. Let them know that you are an informed individual. You're taking matters into your own hand. You're not going to just allow them to guide you along with what they want to do. You're going to have a say in what happens to you when it comes to your health. The next one is, how should I prepare? Because as everybody knows, it's, a biopsy is them sticking something or something inside your breast, whatever type it is, it's an intrusion in your breast. So how should I prepare? What type of food should I eat? Should I eat food? Should I take all of my medication as I take it before? Do I wear deodorant? What kind of clothing should I wear? Ask them, how should you prepare before you show up to the biopsy? Then the next question, will I be awake during the procedure? And what kind of anesthesia or numbing is used? You want to know that. You don't want somebody jabbing something in your boob and they haven't told you exactly how this is going to go. You need to know that. The next one is, how long will it take? And can I drive myself home afterwards? You want to know that as well. Do you need to have somebody there with you, or can you just go get it done and then go home? And will it be a quick thing? I can tell you it took me they put the numbing cream on. It was maybe, I don't know, a couple minutes, 5 minutes or so. It wasn't very long. And then they came in there, they had this machine, they placed my breast up there like they do for a mammogram. And then I turned my head away. The way they have you turn your head, you can't really see it. So you turn your head away, and then they have this machine that comes and it goes down, and it has the worst suction sound. I think that was the worst part of all of it. There was this suction sound, I guess, of it pulling the tissue out of the breast. Oh, I'll never forget it. All I kept thinking was, what is happening? Why is this happening to me? But I knew I had to get through it. And then the last question is, what are the possible outcomes and how will the results be communicated to me? Who's going to call me? Are you going to leave a voicemail? Are you going to send me something in the mail? How am I going to find this out? And what are the possible outcomes here? Is this going to be, do you feel a big lump in your breast? Are they going to find something larger? What is the outcome? You want to know these kind of things. Those are fair questions to ask. They should have someone available to answer those questions for you. So I would definitely take advantage of that. And the best thing I can tell you is to remain calm. Do not let anything drag you into a state of depression about this. Because honestly, it's really probably a matter of, I couldn't have mine right away because I was going to Japan. I was there for 10 days, so that kind of slowed it down. I probably could have had it done that same week they called me, or maybe that next week, but I had to wait. That was another thing that kind of dragged on for me, is that I had that 10-day window where I had to wait. But as soon as I came back from my trip, I already had it scheduled. I think I got it like 2 or 3 days after I got back. So, I was coming back off the high of my trip. Then I had to go do that. So it was a little bit of a downer, but again, I was riding on the wave of the energy of the trip. So I didn't allow it to take away from my good vibes from the trip. But ask those questions. Do not let yourself be worried. I promise you, sis, it's going to be okay. Majority of women who get called for these biopsies are just fine. Are there women and some men out there who have breast cancer? Absolutely. It's a real thing. We have to be aware of it. That's why I had the mammogram. But majority of women who get called back, especially in their 40s, who deal with these callbacks, are okay. And we're going to send good and positive energy that yours will be as well. Because whatever the outcome, remember this, you are more than this moment, and peace is still available to you right now. Right now, peace is available to you. I know it's not easy, but you can do it. You're stronger than this. You're better than this. Fuck cancer. And we're not going to allow this to screw up the next 20, 30, 40 years of our lives. We're not going to do it. We're going to take back our health. We're going to be positive. We're going to be optimistic. And we're going to go off into a bright and happy future. Please Please share your experiences in the comments here. Post some encouraging words for another woman who may be going through this, because this is really the way we rise above these things, is that we share these stories. We're real about it. We're telling, what we experienced. And because most women are going to go through this at some point or another. Almost every friend of mine who's in her 40s and early 50s has told me they've had the same experience. It's crazy. And we're all going to be okay. So I just wanted to leave that. I hope it was encouraging. I hope that it made you at least laugh, even if just for a few seconds today. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. I promise. Enjoy your week. Keep your head up. Till next time. Peace.